It's a foggy and hazy afternoon on the campus of Rowan College of South Jersey, but inside it's nice and toasty for the first of three games in today's Saturday triple header. The first is a standalone game between one of the top teams in Division II and the team at the top of the table in Division III. It's the Mercer County Vikings and the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners here in Saturday afternoon basketball. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Angelina Lindner on a production this afternoon as we've got three basketball games ready to go here from the campus of RCSJ in Deptford Township. Our first of the day brings us to Mercer, 7-2 on the season, only one Region 19 loss, and that was to Division II Harcum earlier in the season. And, well, their second game of the year, they lost to Baltimore County Essex down in Maryland, but this is a resilient Division II team and one of the toughest matchups for veteran head coach Rich Cooper this season. If you can beat all of the Region 19 Division III opponents, you might as well go up and try to play the best of the best. This is kind of like the best FCS team going up to play a pretty solid FBS team. You know, that's just kind of how it is. RCSJ is 6-0 this year. They are right now at the top of the table in Region 19, but it's more or less the same standouts from 2025. From the last season, we saw Philadelphia that fielded a club team last year. They're right now at 6-1. Montgomery was a great contender last year. They're back at the top. They are in third at 5-1. But a lot like last year, not too many teams are having that solid of seasons. In fact, only 6 programs have a record over 500. And as we transition into this first game of the day, we do have 2 Roadrunner Classic games to follow. At 2 p.m. is the third place game between the Eastern Eagles and the Manor Blue Jays. Both teams lost their first round games last night. Manor losing by 4 points to the Mercer men's team, and Eastern losing 92-58 to RCSJ. But our focus shifts to the women today. Regular starting 5 for RCSJ, including Shannon Pierman, the sophomore forward out of Woodstown, who has averaged a double-double this year for the second straight season. And with the veteran head coach, Rich Cooper, 2 veteran head coaches in the game today. Mercer and RCSJ coming up right after this.
For the Mercer County Mustangs, at number 11, Mia Wilkins. At number 0, Evangelina Francisco.
Starters are being introduced by public address announcer Darrell Badley Jr. Let's take a look at those starting lineups presented by Harper Driving School. Our first of the day for the Mercer County Mustangs, Evangelina Francisco, Maya Alford, Zakira Edwards, Quamaya Wilkins, no relation, and Alexandra Garcia Galan. And for the 200-win head coach, Rich Cooper, he has his normal starting five for this Saturday afternoon matchup. It's Emma Budakovia, number 1, followed by Elena LaMonica, the freshman. Millie Harris, number 12. Anna DiPiero, the three-point shooter out of Camden Catholic, number 22. And Shannon Pierman, the forward out of Woodstown, number 33, rounding out the lineup for Rich Cooper. Let's listen in.
It's time for your RCSJ Women's Basketball Team starting lineup. At number 1, Emma Budakovia. At number 3, Elena LaMonica. At number 12, Millie Horace. At number 22, Anna DiPiero. And at number 33, Shannon Pierman. Head coach is Mr. 200, Rich Cooper, and AC Catherine Dunn. Thank you very much. The NJCAA promotes this sportsmanship and student.
All right, we're almost ready to go. RCSJ will line up on the left for the first quarter in their home white jerseys with their blue numbers, gold accents. Mercer will be on the right in their road green jerseys, both same color kits as the men's teams, and the yellow and white accented numbers.
Ladies, have a great game.
RCSJ 6-0, top of the table in Region 19, Division 3. Mercer in Division 2 at 7-2, only one Region 19 loss this year. Should be a fantastic matchup to kick off Saturday's triple header on this Saturday afternoon. Just a couple of minutes behind 12 o'clock. Pierman under it, and we're underway here in Gloucester County. Budakovia picks it up and gets the first possession of the day for the Roadrunners. Budakovia out to DiPiero on the left wing. That one is bounced and lost. Mercer's going to take this one over. Here comes the Mustangs to the basket. Couldn't get anything there. Second chance is good. Shot good that time by number 0, Evangelina Francisco. RCSJ will have possession. After the basket by Francisco, we mentioned Francisco, Alford, Edwards, Wilkins, and Garcia on the floor. Here comes Garcia Galan. Bounce pass, looking good. And that's a 4-0 run for the Vikings. Or check that for the Mustangs. I don't know what the deal is, honestly, with Mercer's naming. I haven't really given it that much of a second thought or haven't asked anybody about it, but we did all our research, and Mercer was known as the Vikings, but then in the press releases and everything for today's or this weekend's matchup, they were referred to as the Mustangs. So if they underwent a change, it had to have been rather recent. We'll just leave it at that for now, but we'll call them the Mustangs. Here comes an open three. Millie Harris off the mark. Budakovia looked like she got the rebound, but I think she hesitated, touched it, and it went out of bounds. It will be Roadrunner ball, though. Budakovia at the top of the key, swings it out to LaMonica. LaMonica double guarded. DiPiero couldn't get any space, couldn't get any breathing room. Horace now faced at the top of the key, left side. LaMonica guarded by Alford. Now it's Budakovia. Shoots from the foul line as she ran out of time, but hold on here. It was a shot clock violation, which means that the play automatically stops, but the referees were hesitant to whistle, so kind of an odd situation, but we'll reset to 8:38 with a 4-0 run by the Division II Mustangs. Garcia Galan over to Wilkins. Wilkins spins off the mark. Rebound by Horace. $8:20 to play in the first quarter. Only 4 points so far. Basket by Garcia Galan and one by Francisco as that one goes out to the top of the key. Edwards looks out to the right side. Long two. Wilkins good. And a 6-0 run for Mercer makes this one a difficult bout for the Division III Roadrunners as LaMonica, another full court press by the Mustangs. They find an open space in Millie Horace. Horace took a gather step that time, tips the ball back up in the air and is able to get the ball back in her possession. DiPiero, three, too long, and another rebound. Horace and DiPiero get together, the ball comes out, and a lot of sloppy basketball all over the place as it ends up retaining Roadrunner possession, but I'll tell you, it's not by much. Just a tough bout that time. As this one is passed to Budakovia, inside to Pierman, up and in. Shannon Pierman with the first basket of the night for the Roadrunners, and it's 6-2. Crowd filing in as Wilkins makes another basket. 8-2. Mustangs lead here in the early going. 7:20 to play in the first quarter. Pierman goes up, catches the rebound. Second chance, fouled. And she'll have to settle for the chance at 2 points from the charity stripe. We were talking about Shannon Pierman, what she's been able to do. 1,000-point scorer at Woodstown in her high school days. Just a fantastic forward as it is. Somebody who is really able to box everyone out and win almost every rebound she can get. Pierman missed her first shot. Roadrunners trail by 6. She misses both, but she's able to, what were we just talking about? She was able to grab a rebound, but not cleanly. 14.5 points for Pierman this season, 11.5 rebounds, and she does shoot 70% from the foul stripe. Which for JUCO women's basketball as a forward, not bad numbers by any means. Moving in, Wilkins with another shot. She gets fouled. Number 14, Patricia Monroe, checked into the game. Wilkins misses both, out of bounds. DiPiero will bring this one in. It'll be Roadrunner ball, 7:03 to play, but a very slow first quarter so far. With an 8-2 Mustangs lead, they will say it is Roadrunner ball as, well, this is, no, it's going to be Mercer ball. Wilkins will take this one under their own basket. Just a lot of tough breaks so far as this one goes out. Basket good for 2. 10-2 Mustangs. Budakovia lobs to Pierman, able to stay on the baseline, but it's a turnover. Just a lot of tough breaks, and it is a blocking foul. So as Francisco went up, she ends up getting fouled on her way up by Horace. And Mercer is going to continue to try to pull away in the first quarter as the Roadrunners will make their first substitution of the game. They will sub out Millie Horace, and they will check in number 24, Haley Rodriguez. Hadley Rodriguez, number 24, checking in. 10-2 Mercer. Some folks stomping their feet in the home bleachers. Basket good. Francisco leads the scoring with 5 here in the early going. And both are good. Mercer has made every foul shot so far, and they now lead by 10. It's 12-2. Here comes DiPiero over the middle. Pierman loses it. Wilkins gets the steal. Now another chance for Mercer as Francisco couldn't come up with it cleanly. Wilkins from the semicircle, it's good, and Rich Cooper's going to call a timeout, and you got to imagine not too thrilled with his offense right now. They are just not getting it together. 6:22 left in the first quarter. It's the Mustangs 14 and the Roadrunners 2. We'll be right back. Roadrunners come back from timeout, down 14-2. DiPiero will inbound. Mercer needed a little extra time. It was a 30-second timeout. DiPiero finds LaMonica on the inbound. DiPiero, of course, out of the very tough and gritty Olympic Conference, hooping for Camden Catholic. The sophomore now, it's turned over by LaMonica. Wilkins, easy lane, and a tough turnover that time as Alford scores her first basket. Again, Mercer just really bullying the Roadrunners here with a full court press, not allowing them to get anything going, seeing if they can slip any lanes through, and they get a travel on Rodriguez. And that's what makes a full court press successful. If you can not only guard the opposite end of the court, but if you can find a way to close any existing lanes as they appear, that's exactly what Mercer did. When we saw in the men's game last night, Manor did try a full court press, but Mercer was able to take advantage of it, and here comes the Roadrunners as a foul on her way up. Garcia Galan fouled number 5, Renaya Wilson, and Wilson will go to shoot 2. I mean, that may just be how the Roadrunners have to attack Mercer here. Mercer, a Division II opponent. They are definitely right now looking like the stronger team, up by 14 points. But, again, it should be noted, as Wilson misses her first, they might just have to attack by driving to the basket as quickly as possible and just trying to draw fouls. Because the Roadrunners are good at that. Put the ball in Pierman's hands, and she could do it. Wilson makes 1 of 2. And it's 16-3. Deep 3. Good! How about that? Evangelina Francisco picks up a triple. It's a 16-point game. Another full court press. And another turnover. Garcia Galan loses it. She will keep it in, but now the ball is loose. Here comes DiPiero. Pierman is open. She goes for the long 2. Pierman rebound. Basket up. Foul and 1. No coach in the world is going to draw a play up like that, but Shannon Pierman was able to do it. Pierman, I mean, that was just such a weird play. Garcia Galan had a steal, but then the ball just rattled out of her hands. It just kind of slipped. And then DiPiero picks it up on an open floor. I mean, there was a wide open space on the floor. Pierman does miss. but it is now 19-5. Inside, ball comes out, nobody has it. It is touched last by RCSJ, and Wilkins will inbound beneath the basket. Garcia Galan checks out. Maya Alford back in for Mercer. Wilkins looking to find somebody. She finds Francisco, who has 9 points, now finds an open lane, moves inside for Alford, inside the paint at the corner box, back out top of the key. Edwards might have thought about a three, but doesn't take it. Edwards moving in, stutter step, right side and good. Zakira Edwards. All 5 starters now in the first 6 minutes of play have points for Mercer. Everybody's putting in their 2 cents. DiPiero, high off the glass. It kicks back out to Rodriguez. That shot banks in. 21-7. Kind of a football score here at RCSJ as Francisco rather, gets fouled. We're going to have now 4 fouls on both teams, it looks like.
Francisco shooting 2.
Mercer 21, RCSJ 7. We mentioned Mercer 7-2. Their only Region 19 loss was to Harcum back on November the 22nd. But even versus a solid Middlesex team, they scored 101 points in a 101-43 win, 98-51 over Del Tech, 88-39 over Salem, 72-41 over Frederick, Cecil 86-45, and they opened the season with a 95-59 win over Hartford. Francisco makes both. She's already got 11 points as here comes DiPiero. Back to Pierman. A little bit of a undesigned handoff. No foul, but on her way up, that ball got rattled around a little bit with Horace. Horace looking to find somebody. Goes to Rodriguez. Moving inside. Right lane. Doesn't go. Moving inside. And the basket is good. 25-7. Patricia Monroe makes the shot. No good there. Walk, Mercer. Wilkins gets called for it. They're getting ready to check in Tino Bamboche. A little bit surprised that she hasn't been starting lately. The last time that we covered the Roadrunners in women's basketball was back on November the 13th versus Northampton. It was interesting to see how that all came about. Bounce pass, gets out. Pierman is able to come up with it. Bamboche has it. 3. Front iron. Rattling in for it. DiPiero gets it. Catch and shoot long 2. That shot is long. Roadrunners just attempting way too many shots early. 3. Off the mark. Bamboche with the rebound. Again, she was the starting point guard for a lot of last season and a lot of this year for the Roadrunners. But now it goes back out to Wilson. High pass. Pierman, that shot is going to get waved off. A foul is going to be called against Pierman. An offensive foul gets called. She's already up to 2 fouls this afternoon. And the Roadrunners, in a little bit of desperation, they check in the Pittman grad, Maya Valari, into the game, the sophomore guard. Again, Roadrunners going with a lot smaller of a lineup here. Well, I guess you could call Valari a bit of a combo guard, can do a little bit of everything in the paint, really acting as the 4 here, as this is, oh, how about this? Evangelina Francisco moves to the left for a 3. That ball came out again. Francisco fires the ball off of Bamboche. Wilson wasn't looking, and the foul gets called. Wilson picked up the ball. She didn't know what to do with it or where to go, and Mercer just tried to come in and swipe it away from her. She got fouled. Monroe will get called for the foul. And that will put RCSJ over the bonus. Renaya Wilson will shoot 2. First shot, misses. Too long. 28 for Mercer, 7 for RCSJ here on this Saturday afternoon. Wilson makes her second. Checking into the ball game, subbing out Anna DiPiero is number 2, Alexis Caraway, the Haddon Heights grad. As here come the Mustangs. I keep wanting to say Vikings. If they had a name change, it must have been extremely recent, in the last year or so. Off the mark. That was a long 3 that didn't go. Now another one does go for Alford. Here comes Bambochet. Moving up here, trying to get something going. Out to the right. Open shot. Rodriguez, 3. Hadley Rodriguez from the near corner gives the Roadrunners double digits. It's 30-11, 29-point game. Or excuse me, 19-point game. Monroe fouled and 1. That was a late foul, too. That was coming in well after she released the ball. You just can't make that mistake if you're the Roadrunners. I mean, you think about the hole that has already been dug in this game. And committing a late foul like that is not going to help anybody. But Mercer now goes over the bonus. At the line is Monroe, who makes the and one. 5 points for Monroe off the bench, the only non-starter to score for Mercer tonight. Pass goes awry into the scorer's table. It'll be taken by Wilkins. Back to Edwards, to Francisco. Back in front of the volleyball line, left wing. Edwards moving inside. Mercer was calling for an open lane. Shot goes off the front of the iron. Second chance, too long. Villari rebound. Bambochet is there. Mercer kind of letting up this full court press. Not 100%, but Wilson is going to get fouled on her way up. I mean, this feels like this has the makings of a game that both teams are just going to try to wear each other down. Mercer is trying to foul RCSJ, or not trying to foul, but they are trying to draw fouls from one side, and RCSJ is trying to draw fouls from the other side. And I wouldn't be surprised if in all 4 quarters we see bonuses galore. Again, 2 very good teams, but right now we're seeing one team that has vastly more points than the other, and they're still running into foul trouble here. So if RCSJ can wear down the Mustangs a little bit more, maybe they'll have a little bit of a fighting shot. Edwards moving in. Basket, good. Made by Alford. She's up to 6. Francisco leads the scoring with both sides with 4. And speaking of Francisco, she just picked up a steal. Fantastic move to the basket to misdirect Tino Bambochet. She's at 16 points. Full court press back in order, but a wide open lane. Here comes Villari. It's like we're watching the Clayton Clippers. Wide open lane there. Villari scores. 37-15. I mean, that was a rare mistake in the full court press by Mercer there. Left an open lane way too long. 45 seconds. Garcia over the middle, turns it over. Back to Wilson. Wilson taking it herself. Gets past a screen by Mercer. Feet weren't really all that set. It's Garcia. 30 seconds and a foul as Rodriguez picks up one there. First shot didn't go. 38-15. 25 seconds left. Caraway to Bamboche. Out into the open corner. Rodriguez, 3. Front iron. Rebound by Wilkins. Wilkins to the basket. Did not get fouled. They were able to strip the ball away cleanly. Very interesting there. Mercer does retain possession under their own basket. 11 seconds left in the first quarter. Moving out. Trying to find some space. Wilkins, mid-range, doesn't go. Cooper telling his girls to go. 2 seconds left. They got to let one fly. Deep, no good there. And a disappointing first quarter for the Roadrunners allows Mercer to score 38 points. What a high-scoring first quarter for the Mercer Mustangs as they lead this one by 23. It's the Mustangs 38 and the Roadrunners 15 right after this. Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field. Welcome back to Rowan College of South Jersey as the Mercer Mustangs lead this one 38-15. The scorer to watch, though, is Evangelica Francisco, 16 points in the first quarter, including 3 triples. She has been fantastic so far for the Mustangs. We will start with Garcia Galan having possession. Starting off the second quarter, Edwards is there over the middle. Near side, Francisco moves over, moves inside, fouled on her way up as Alford gets contact from Villari. Villari took a shot that time, and that will be her second foul. So the 2 forwards, Pierman and Villari, both sitting on 2 fouls right now. First basket good by Alford. I mean, Mercer scoring 38 points in the first quarter was really just a bit of a culture shock, and we'll have to see if Mercer can keep up that momentum as Villari will pick up the rebound. 1 of 2 from Alford from the line. Bamboche fires a pass way too high, and well, Cooper puts his hands over his head, really puts his head in his hands. Just not at all happy with how the Roadrunners have been playing. And, you know, sometimes it's one of those teams where when you are down by double digits to a team, you sometimes just forget your instincts and you forget how to play your sport. I'm not saying that they're completely lost, but they're not playing as they would versus a regular Region 19 Division III opponent. This is uncharacteristic of the Roadrunners as Francisco came in for a steal on the double press from full court, but it ends up not retaining. DiPiero inbounds. You can see this magic trick here starting to come to a little bit of life. Travel? 5-second violation. 10-second violation, excuse me. And that's where that full court press comes into play. Mercer was able to catch RCSJ off guard. They weren't paying attention to how much time was left, and they end up drawing them for one of the simplest violations in the book. Hold on. Not sure what the issue was there, but the referee said he made a mistake. Garcia Galan into the corner. Long two, doesn't go. Off the glass, swiped by a couple of players. It will be Roadrunner ball. DiPiero has it going in with Wilkins and Villari. Horace trying to get through the lane. Here comes Villari. Basket good. 2 baskets for the Pittman grad off the bench. Moving out, Francisco. Open 3. Good. 4 triples for Evangelina Francisco. 19 points in the first half. 44-17. DiPiero, the 3-point shooter. 3. A little bit of life from the Roadrunners as they go on a 3-point spree. DiPiero and Francisco trade a couple baskets. It's a 30-second timeout. We will stay right here. 44-20 Mercer. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. And by Gray Fox Sports. Premier sports photography right in your backyard. Visit grayfoxsports.net or Gray Fox Sports on Instagram for booking and more information. Keep in mind the photographer is only available until mid-January as he starts grad school in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. (44-20), 24-point lead for the Mercer Mustangs. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Angelina Lidner on a production this afternoon, our first of 3 games here in the precursor to the Roadrunner Classic third-place game and championship to commence later this afternoon. As going up for that one doesn't go. DiPiero gets the rebound. Underhand feeds to Bamboche. On top of the Roadrunner logo, guarded closely by Alford. Bamboche spins around, back to DiPiero. DiPiero bounce pass, Villari up and in. Maya Villari gets that shot to go, and it's 44-22. Screen set by Wilkins. Edwards gets an open look, fading away, one-legged, it's good. Edwards with 4 points. DiPiero fires at Bamboche. Got Edwards on her back. DiPiero is there. 7:30 to play in the half. Half-court pressing doubly at the midcourt line. Another 3 from the far corner. Off the mark. DiPiero slaps the ball down. They're just trying to get that ball anywhere else but Mercer's hands, and a foul on Wilson's way to the basket. She'll shoot 2. Yeah, when you're down double digits, even more than double digits, you're down by 20-plus points here. The Roadrunners will try to find a way to just, again, try to win their way into any possession, any basket opportunity that they can get, because the more times that they get a chance to run to the basket, higher chance it is that you'll score one of them. That's just how the math works. But Mercer is trying to take away all that possession, and they're trying to hold on to the ball for as long as they can while also trying to pressure the Roadrunners with that full court press. It's a reason why they're 7-2 in Region 19, Division II. Wilson makes both. It's 46-24, 22-point game. We do have Monroe flipping to Edwards. Edwards back out. Another flip back and forth. Should mention now in the game is Gabriella Smith. Edwards backing up to the volleyball line. 8 to shoot. DiPiero guarding. Back to the semicircle. Powerful bounce pass. Fouled. Alford gets hit on her way up. Foul is called against Villari. That's her 3rd. Goes without saying, both of these teams are going to run in the foul trouble tonight, regardless of who wins or loses. As Villari will check out. Coming into the game is number 20, Brenna Ivy. First one good by Alford. She is 5 for 5 in free throw shooting so far today. 47-24. And she makes that one. DiPiero has it, guarded closely by Edwards. Fires it across. Almost lost the ball there. DiPiero had an open look, but instead passes it to her teammate, who picks up the rebound. Caraway can't come up with it cleanly. And now another one and a foul. And Cooper is trying to contest the call here. He's not a fan of the foul call as Caraway gets called for it as she was going down. Already 3 fouls against the Roadrunners, as looks like Mercer Eastern's men's team for the third place game is joining us now in the road bleachers. Edwards. Wow, a bit of an interesting spot there. Francisco lost her balance, and they were going to pass it to her. Travel's going to get called against Alford. That was as she was taking the shot. They said she took the extra step. DiPiero has it. Bounce pass. Again, that full court press continuing to bewilder the Roadrunners as Francisco gets fouled. It's going to be a reach-in foul against Francisco. Quamaya Wilkins checks back into the game, and that will send Edwards to the bench. It's the first foul for Francisco. 3 fouls for the Roadrunners, 2 for the Mustangs. Wilson has it. Wilson. Nice crossover move. Takes it herself, no foul. Out of bounds, Roadrunner ball. DiPiero has it under their basket. 5:57 to play in the half. They've got 20 on the shot clock here. Brings it over to Caraway. Trapped in her own corner. Bambochet under the basket, 2-on-1. Just couldn't get the height on that basket, on that shot. No good there. Here come the Mustangs. A shot in traffic. Foul. Offensive foul against Quamaya Wilkins. Basket wouldn't have been good anyway, but it gets a nice call off there. Comes Bambochet. Fires it with one hand, turns it over. Moving in. Tried to swipe at a block that time was Wilson on the shot by Monroe. Edwards will check in. And so does Budakovia. Caraway gets sent out. Rolls over from the corner box. No good. Bambochet rebound. Flips it to Budakovia. Budakovia works backwards now. And we'll try to get something out of this. Wilson moves in. 3-on-1. She goes up. No! Offensive foul called against Wilson. Renaya Wilson gets called with an offensive foul. Just tried to come in a little bit too hot there. Wilson kind of goes out on her own accord, if you will. Five minutes to play in the half. The score, Mercer is double over the Roadrunners, 48-24. On the ground, Bambochet is there. She has to come back up with it again. Loses it. Bambochet comes back up, has an open lane. DiPiero for 3 with 4 to shoot. She gets fouled. Almost a 4-point play. They will shoot 3 with DiPiero, who is good from the foul line. DiPiero, a 75% shooter from the foul line, 42% true shooter. She's played in all 6 Roadrunner games this year, 12.5 points per game, 42% from 3. It's a fantastic number for the Camden Catholic grad as she makes that one. Makes her second. And 3 for 3. Anna DiPiero makes it 48-27. They're going to get LaMonica ready to check back in for Rich Cooper and the Roadrunners. Edwards, guarded by Bambochet. Open look, Monroe moves into the semicircle. Ball gets ripped out. Cooper wants a jump ball. They get a jump ball with the possession arrow. I'll tell you, this crowd is loud for being down by 19 points. Down by 21 points, rather. A lot of passion. Referees are making sure they get it right. Jump ball with the possession arrow in favor of the Roadrunners. Budakovia. Here comes Horace. Ball gets swiped away. Easy look for Mercer. Inside, Budakovia didn't have a chance on that one. Alford gets the score. Here comes Budakovia. Outside look. Horace. Shot's going to get called off. It's a jump ball. And now Mercer will have possession here. .50 points for Mercer. Shocking considering they scored 38 points in the first quarter. They've only scored 12 in the first 6 minutes of the second. Make that 14 as Alford gets another basket, 52-27. I mean, I guess for the Roadrunners, you are just finding positives as you can get them. As Horace, they go straight up, can't get it. Ivy couldn't get the steal, or the rebound rather. DiPiero guarding, look at Francisco, oh my, up. Over the rim, Ivy rebound. Back to Budakovia. Comes out again. Another open look, ball comes out. Got swiped out from behind by Millie Horace. Mercer does retain possession under their own basket. Catch and shoot 3 by Francisco, no good. DiPiero rebound. She will take this herself. Hard charge up the floor. They call a charge. Felt like her feet were down, but Mercer is able to draw a charge. Three minutes to play in the first half. Mercer leads 52-27. The Division II Mustangs 7-2 in competition this season. Oh, look at this fake from Edwards. I love that move, but she just couldn't get it. Now Alford gets another basket. 8 points for Alford in the second quarter. Budakovia dancing around midcourt. Gets it to LaMonica. Pulling up for 3, just couldn't get it off the front of the iron. I mean, I don't blame the Roadrunners for trying to take threes. Might be the only lifeline they have because they do have a handful of good three-point shooters. like Anna DiPiero and Hadley Rodriguez. Air ball on the shot from Wilkins. Another basket is good. Monroe gets it that time. DiPiero, no good there. Again, the Roadrunners are just rushing the shots, not taking any time off the board. It's going to be a double dribble. The violation gets called against the Vikings. Two minutes to play. Horace in trouble. Finds a space through the lanes and good. Three, Garcia off the mark. Second chance. Horace couldn't go. Third chance. Foul. And she'll shoot two. A minute 29 left in the first half. With a massive lead here. Another sub checking in. DiPiero comes out. In is number 35, Savannah Shute. Gabriella Smith presumably will come in for Alford here. No good. And Evangelina Francisco is going to get ready to come back in as well. Second one good by Alford. Alford had three chances that time at the basket and didn't make any one, but was able to draw the foul in the third attempt. Get herself to the foul stripe for two, makes one of two. LaMonica along the baseline. Inbounds it to Rodriguez, who now has to shovel the ball out and get Mercer back in another misdirection. Another double press here. I mean, Mercer's running anything but a man-to-man as this one goes to Budakovia. She walks behind the backcourt line. Budakovia is trying to argue that it was tipped, but Rich Cooper isn't having any of it. He's saying, listen, that's your mistake. It was pretty clear that her foot was over midcourt when she picked up the ball and then took a step backwards. They're going to move Mercer's inbound up here to just past midcourt. Moving this one way up here. It's Edwards with 1:15 to play. Right side. Edwards goes back out to Francisco. She's got 4 triples tonight. Back out, long two. Off the mark by Smith. Rebounded by Hadley Rodriguez. 1 minute to play in the half. Rolls out to LaMonica. She's trapped in the near corner. Mercer saying that she stepped out. Shute is going to get the basket. Here come the Mustangs again. Just another chance here for Francisco. A no-look pass. Rebounded by Budakovia, under 30 seconds to play. Shot clock is erased. Here comes Budakovia, the Medford Tech grab. Brings it out. LaMonica fires a pass, but it's intercepted. Now it's Wilkins. Right side, up and no good. LaMonica rebound. 11 seconds. She's blazing up the floor. Brings it to Rodriguez. Passes a little wide. Bounce pass. Horace fouled on her way up. And basket good for an and one. Basket good. Foul on Smith. And with 4.5 seconds left, it's a 3-point play in the works for LaMonica. Or check that for Horace. Her first points of the day. No good there. 2 seconds before the half. Heave. Oh, that was close. Quamaya Wilkins almost had it, but it's Mercer 57. Roadrunners 33 at the half. Mercer has been just dominating on every part, and the full court press has been the story of the day, but not to mention Evangelina Francisco, 19 points on 4 threes. We'll be back in 15 minutes with the second half of play right after this. In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear.
Woo!
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Welcome back to the Roadrunner Gym as the nationally ranked Mercer Mustangs lead the RCSJ Roadrunners by a score of 57-33. I mean, I'll tell you, it has been really interesting to watch these two teams go back and forth because it hasn't been all that conventional. The Roadrunners have had a tough time adjusting to the full court press that Mercer has put on them, and even though RCSJ is looking decent from three-point land, you can't rely on that all the time. You can't really be a one-trick pony, and you know, we're just seeing a lot of flaws in the RCSJ offense. We're seeing a lot of these players break down when it comes to, you know, fighting under pressure and being able to come up to materialize in the moment. But DiPiero will get the inbound to start the third quarter for the Roadrunners. We start the second half with Budakovia, who immediately gives a lob to DiPiero and makes the basket. Had a feeling the Roadrunners were going to try something interesting to start the half, something to make at least one effort to dislodge or throw off kilter the Mustangs. As this one rolls in, LaMonica is going to fall for a standard rebound. Now DiPiero, she looked for three, now fires it across to an open Budakovia who loses it, now moves across coast to coast. DiPiero still camped in the far corner. Now it's Budakovia in the far corner. Back out to the right side into the corner for LaMonica. LaMonica to Horace. Open look there, bounce pass aggressively. Pierman with an open look, and she makes the basket. And Mercer already calling a timeout. Interesting stuff there, as RCSJ starting to get back into this one, but they still trail by 20. It's the Mustangs 57 and the Roadrunners 37. Coming back from the timeout, just about 50 seconds gone in the third quarter. Mercer brings this one up the floor with Zakira Edwards. Open look, basket, first points of the half for Mercer. Francisco 19, Alford 16, and Monroe 7, the three leading scorers for Mercer. For RCSJ, DiPiero has 8. And then a three-way tie for second. Pierman, Wilson, and Villari all have 6. And we have our first foul of the half against the Mustangs. And now Cooper calls a timeout. So we'll stay right here to read off our last ad read. This broadcast is brought to you by the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, or Dog Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. For more information on future events and booking, visit dawgprowrestling.com. And if you have an event that would like to see some high-flying action, you can book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event, whether it's a corporate event or a private outing or a fundraiser, whatever it may be. Book Dog Pro Wrestling to bring a little spice to your next event in South Jersey. Back in the festive spirit here in Gloucester County, our public address announcer, Darrell Bagley Jr., getting some Christmas music on the air. Mustangs lead by 22. Budakovia loses it, dives forward. Edwards has it, and it's an open look for Garcia. Chasing down is Horace, but she does not trail, and somehow they miss the shot. Back to Budakovia. Budakovia loses it, and it looks like this is going to be Mercer ball, as that ball got ripped out from behind. Out of bounds again. Horace to Pierman. Outside, Budakovia. No good. Here is Garcia. Moving in, LaMonica is going to foul her, and he gets the and one with a good basket. So Garcia Galan gets the shot to fall. Basket good, three-point play complete for Garcia. She has 7, and now it's LaMonica. 62-37. 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Budakovia over at the center. Finds Horace. Has LaMonica with maybe an open look. Horace, oh, she faked the pass, and it's going to be a double dribble. It'll be a carry here. Just a tough break there. Horace was going to pass it out, but didn't get anything there. Ball comes out. Budakovia has it. And she missed the shot. Ball came away again there as Edwards passes it to Francisco. Right-hand lay. She is fouled. I mean, I applaud the Roadrunners as a undefeated 6-0 Division III team going in to face a 7-2 Division II team. Mercer is a darn good program. There's a reason why they're doing so well right now, as Francisco now crosses the 20-point margin. She had 19 points in the first half, 14 alone in the third quarter. LaMonica brings it up the floor for the Roadrunners. Takes it herself, does not get a foul. Here comes Garcia. Up and in. And now the Roadrunners will call a timeout. Things slipping away here as the Roadrunners had one last stand, and right now in the middle of the third quarter, it's not looking too hot. Rich Cooper calls a full timeout. It's the Mustangs 65 and the Roadrunners 37. Coming back from the timeout. Roadrunner ball. DiPiero has it. It's LaMonica. LaMonica right on top of it. DiPiero back out to Budakovia. And Pierman couldn't get the shot up that time. Here come the Mustangs. There's a foul. It's called against LaMonica. Edwards, no good. Wilson loses it. Goes toe-to-toe, doesn't get there. Pierman makes the second chance basket. The center has 8. 65-39. Wilkins, right hand, no good. Pierman rebound, ball comes out. Looks like Pierman and Horace got together that time. Wilkins under the basket, into the corner, catch and shoot 3, off the mark. Rebound, Horace. Another shot and a foul. It's going to get called against the Mustangs and specifically against Maya Alford. Wilson makes her first. Maya Alford now up to 4 fouls. And Wilson makes both. 65-41. So it is now I'm looking at it here. It's just trying to decipher this a little bit. You know, it's interesting because Mercer right now, again, a very good Division II team. They have been playing their best basketball. The Roadrunners just have not today, but they're definitely punching up. That's for sure. A lead of 24 for Mercer. 5:25 to play in the third. We have the third place game coming up between Manor and Eastern. Moving in, Pierman passes out to Horace. Horace up, off the mark. Fiery pass. It's up, and a foul is called. Edwards will go to the line. 4 fouls against the Roadrunners, 2 against the Mustangs. Second shot missed. Wilson, or check that, Edwards up to 7 points. Again, the leading scorer on both teams is Evangelina Francisco with 20, including 4 triples. Out on the far right wing, Pierman tries to get it. Wow, that's going to be an offensive foul. Pierman ran in that time. Cooper wants an explanation, but the offensive foul gets called. Cooper just wants an explanation. I think he wants to air his grievance, but he also doesn't want to run into a technical foul either, and that's something that he's had at least one of them this year already. Francisco has an open look. Great screen set by Mercer, but the shot is off the front of the iron. Ooh, might have stepped out of bounds there in Renaya Wilson. But it goes back to LaMonica, and we stay in play. 3 ball, no good. 66-41 Mercer. 4:26 to play in the third. Up and in. Garcia Galan, 11 points. Tino Bamboche getting ready to check in. Another foul and another offensive foul. It's called against Horace. So Horace now up to 3 fouls. Edwards brings this up the middle of the floor. kind of a stutter step that time. Monroe outside. Garcia over to Edwards. 9 to shoot from the semicircle, and Edwards knocks it down. 70-41, 29-point lead for Mercer. Now moving in is Wilson, who gets the shot on her own accord. 10 points off the bench for Renaya Wilson. 3:30 to play in the third. This game has been moving demonstrably slow. I doubt there's any chance we get this 2 o'clock game started on time. Garcia Galan, bounce pass, ball gets away. Nobody's going to touch it. They're just going to let it go. I mean, don't blame them there. Mercer looks like, I thought Mercer had the last touch, but they're going to say that it wasn't. That's why RCSJ let it go. Francisco gets it back at the top of the key, guarded by Bambouche. Garcia gets a nice pass. 3, too high. Ball gets knocked down. It'll be Roadrunner ball. They had 3 to shoot, so Garcia let it fly quickly. Three, Rodriguez. Now Edwards to Garcia, and good. Anything you can do, I can do just as quickly, as Garcia Galan gets another basket on a beautiful pass by Edwards. And now it's Pierman. Ball gets knocked out. And now here comes the Mustangs again, 72-46. Garcia Galan again in transition, and they continue to run this one up, 74-46. 2:23 to play, and we still have a whole nother quarter in this first game. We'll be here a while. Rodriguez on top of the Roadrunner beak. Wilson, you can see 2 Vikings defenders right there. And a foul, a push. It's going to be called against Monroe. And now 2 subs coming in. It'll be Gabriella Smith and number 34, Emma Wilkie in. Wilkie and Siani Thompson are the only other players we have not seen on the floor tonight. But now Wilkie comes in as basically the last of 2 subs for Mercer. Comes Rodriguez, pass to the right, 3-second violation on the Roadrunners. Again, these mistakes, I don't think if you play Passaic or if you play Atlantic Cape or Camden, I don't think these mistakes get made, but instead, it's just another situation where they are not playing very cohesively right now. They're just trying to find a rhythm against a very good, nationally ranked Division II team. Wilkie, ball gets away. They're going to say that Francisco stepped over the line. The debate was whether the ball was tipped or not, but referees have the final say, and they say that she did go over for a backcourt violation. So it'll be Bambouche to Renaya Wilson. 1:40 to play in the third quarter. 74 for Mercer, 46 for RCSJ. Another turnover, a scramble. Wilson has her elbow on top of the ball, and she is able to secure it for possession. Possession arrow is going to go to Mercer. Edwards taking her time. Roadrunners will get ready to check in another player, number 10, in Vienna Gantz. Over to the right side, Edwards. Valari goes to the floor, and there's a shot. Edwards gets it for her 11th point. Wilson in a 30-point game. Valari gets the ball knocked away. Rodriguez comes in with it, and now Wilkie has it. Ball gets away. Here comes Francisco. DiPiero guarding closely. Rodriguez is able to get through the traffic. Now it's Francisco. Pulls up from the semicircle. Now it's Monroe, blocked by Valari. Valari slaps it back in, but the shot is good, as all of that ends in a basket for Gabriella Smith. A hard-fought effort on that play by the Roadrunners, but it ends in a Vikings basket as a 3. Wilson can't go, airballed it as it landed on the baseline. And Gantz will come in. .31 seconds remain. There's only a 1 second difference between the two clocks. Here comes Edwards, taking her time. They're going to try to run this out to the end of the quarter here with a 32-point lead, 78-46. Passed out to Wilkie. Wilkie can't get the shot to go. Bamboche has it. This will be the last possession of the third, it looks like, as here comes Tino Bamboche. Shot gets tipped up, lets it fly, and it's no good. And at the end of the third quarter, just another one for the Mercer Mustangs to hang their heads high on, as it's a 32-point lead into the final quarter of play in game 1 of 3 today. It is the Mustangs 78 and the Roadrunners 46. At the start of the fourth quarter, it is the Mercer Mustangs 78 and RCSJ 46. As it's a 32-point game. Rich Cooper talking with his girls. Again, just trying to get a little semblance of hope here for the Roadrunners. I mean, this game seems like it's well out of reach right now. I'm just thinking, you know, how can you get morale points? How can you get team booster points, if you will, to try to sort all this out? As Gantz inbounded the ball with 1 foot over the half-court line. It's Rodriguez stepping back, using a lot of heavy ball movement here. Gantz guarded by Wilkins. Open look, Wilson off the mark. Bamboche could not get the rebound cleanly. Ball comes out. Bamboche falls on top of it. Pile drives another Mercer defender. Valari is just going to take it herself. Shot didn't go. Now it's Bamboche again. Rodriguez moves in. It's going to be a travel called against Bamboche, as during all of that, no jump ball was called. .32-point lead for Mercer. Francisco taking this herself. She had 14 points in the first quarter. Her production has slowed down a little bit, though, and, well, with Mercer's lead, she hasn't really needed to score all that much, as she's only had 6 points in the second half. And Bamboche is going to get called for another walk. That's her second in a row, as just a little bit of a stutter step ends up going poorly for her. Edwards out to the semicircle. Garcia passes to the baseline. Monroe to Garcia, and Garcia gets fouled on a two-handed shovel. Shot to be taken by Garcia Galan. She makes her first. She's catching up on Francisco. She's got 16 points here. Mercer with a win would improve to 7-2. Roadrunners would suffer their first loss of the season to go to 7-1, and we're going to have another really tough matchup for RCSJ this Tuesday on the 9th. Oh, a couple of hard falls there. Bamboche And Edwards now, Villari goes in. Edwards kind of flopped a little bit, and that shot is good. Bamboche with her first points of the day. She is now the 5th RCSJ bench player to score. Corner 3, good. From Wilkins, and she's up to double digits. All 5 Mercer starters now up above double-digit scoring, 82-48. Bamboche. Moving over to the right side, it's an underhand flip to Rodriguez. Rodriguez looks to find some space from the corner box, and she banks it in. Some lucky stars that time for Rodriguez. As now it's Francisco. Ball gets turned over. Here's Gantz with an open look. She will take this herself. And too long. Bamboche can't get it down. She fires it off of the Mercer player. Bamboche crashes into the bench, and we've got a foul. And Bamboche is down. Bamboche got up, but she seemed a little bit shaken up there as she's going to go down to the bench. Roadrunners did pick up a foul because of Rodriguez. Budakovia checked back in for the Roadrunners, and it looked like there was a change. I think Francisco came back in. Open look, 3. Garcia can't go. Here comes Budakovia. Rodriguez passes into the middle in front of a very tightly guarded Villari, and she's going to get called for a walk. Villari not happy at all. She is very upset about all of that, and she'll get checked out of the game, at least for now. I mean, I don't know if she'll come back in, but right now it looks like the Roadrunners are bringing in kind of their B core here. I mean, I don't know. She passed right to Villari that was in the middle of some heavy traffic. Edwards fakes. Back to Monroe. 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Moving out. Far pass. Edwards moves in, fires out. Long 2 with 3 to shoot. No good. Rebound by Caraway. As that one got bounced around a couple times. Bounce pass, Rodriguez. Moves up off the side of the backboard, and she'll get fouled. The foul is called against number 5, Zakira Edwards. Rodriguez gets both. 82-51. A 31-point lead for Mercer County and the Vikings. Francisco loses possession. Mercer ball. Up next for Mercer, they play Lackawanna on Tuesday. That's a good women's program as well. They get Monroe University in New York on Thursday, and then one of the top teams in Region 19 Division II. Oh, she threw the ball away. Look out, Darryl. Morris on Saturday the 13th. For the Roadrunners, as we mentioned, they have a tough bout up ahead with Philadelphia, who is 6-1 this year. They play them on Tuesday, December 9th. We will be there for that game. Brookdale on the 11th. And Atlantic Cape on the 16th. So the next 3 games for RCSJ will all be against 500 or better opponents. Basket good by Francisco. 22 points for the game's leading scorer, 84-51, 33-point lead. 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Vienna Gantz over the middle. Bounce pass into the corner. 3. Good by Caraway. Edwards inside the semicircle, moves out to Garcia. She wanted to take a three, but she decided better. Ball's going to get stripped away. Gantz is going to get a jump ball here. Cooper thought that was a clean steal. He's almost got a smile on his face at that point for, almost in disbelief. Corner, whoa, three. Francisco, I couldn't get the words out, I apologize. Francisco now with 25 points as she's heating up late in the fourth quarter of this one. Bounce pass. Three. Caraway knocks it down. 2 triples for her. Moving in is Wilkins, who gets it. 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Wilkins with 10. Another turnover. Here comes Garcia Galan. Turned over back to Budakovia. Foul. It's on Garcia. And she got a piece of Budakovia. And they're gonna sub Smith back in for Garcia, and she is fouled out of the game. Only four fouls total in the fourth quarter, 2 on each side. Budakovia with a quick deflection back to Hadley Rodriguez. Ball turned over, open look. It's Alford, and an easy lay. Mercer was laying back on that possession in case the shot didn't go and they needed to defend down the court. Bounce pass from Caraway to Rodriguez, and the intended target was Ivy, but now it's a turnover. Here is Edwards. Nice pass upstairs. Wilkins has it, and Mercer calls a timeout. I mean, there's 4:20 left in the game. You've scored 93 points. I don't know what else they need to talk over here, but with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, it's looking good for Mercer as they'll look to improve to 8-2 with all but one loss in Region 19. We'll be right back. (93-57), 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Budakovia brings this one up, guarded by Edwards, the point guard from BCIT Medford in the BCSL. It's Rodriguez. She looks to clear the floor. Has a lot of space. Back at the second volleyball line, the dark gray. Gantz. Rodriguez, long 2 with 9 to shoot. A rushed shot. Gantz can't get it, and now it's Francisco. Francisco over to Edwards. An open look, and she gets it to rattle in. Edwards with 13 points. All 5 starters for Mercer have over 10. Francisco with 25. Alford with 18. Garcia Galan with 16. Wilkins with 14. Edwards with 13. And after a scramble right on the baseline, it goes out of bounds. Don't forget, we've got 2 more games later today. We have the 3rd place game in the RCSJ Roadrunner Classic. The Manor Blue Jays are sitting in the bleachers right now. I mean, it's 1:40, so if you give 20 minutes, we'll probably start just a little bit past 2 o'clock. And then we'll have the championship game. First of all, Manor and Eastern are in the 3rd place game, and then RCSJ and Mercer in the championship game. Manor won the tournament outright last year, picking up 2 really strong wins as Ivy can't get there. Gantz floats it up and in. And that's one thing that really benefits RCSJ. And we talk about how good RCSJ is in the context of their opponents. But, you know, they play Philadelphia on Tuesday, and then they've got another tough matchup with Brookdale on Thursday, and then Atlantic Cape after that. A really tough week for the Roadrunners. And even though this is going to be their first loss of the year, it should be noted that, you know, there's really no team like Mercer in the Division III circuit. The Philadelphia game that they play on Tuesday, that is going to be important for both Philadelphia and RCSJ because both teams are going to be directly equal. Both teams are going to be 6-1 going into Tuesday. And what's also important is to remember that Philadelphia was only a club team last year. They have a lot to be playing for in their first season back in NJCAA eligibility. And they're going to have a really tough game, and I think that with RCSJ, they have to get their confidence up over the weekend. This loss is going to hurt. It's going to hurt for a little while, but you have to remember how good Mercer is and how good and, you know, what you were able to accomplish versus them. I know it's difficult for players on the losing end of a game to look at things in the bigger picture, but that's what RCSJ has to do here. This is a Division II game where the Roadrunners were playing up against a nationally ranked Mercer team in Division II. Look out here. We got a clear path foul. The basket does not count. And it'll be the 5th foul against the Roadrunners, or it looks like it'll be the 4th this time. So they'll go to the nearest baseline. And Francisco, who has 25 points for Mercer, will bring this one in to Zakira Edwards. Edwards guarded by Budakovia. Francisco out to the right side, top of the key. 3, Francisco off the mark. Rebound by Caraway. Caraway gets this one rolling. 2:20 to play as Eastern now crossing our sideline. Basket up and in for Caraway. She's up to 8 points. Again, these are morale points for RCSJ here. You know, they're talking about, you know, how can we make things a little bit easier to cope with in a loss like this. As that one goes out of bounds on the pass to Edwards. (97-61). Budakovia brings this one up the floor. Guarded by Edwards. Budakovia on the right side. Takes it herself. Backpedaling all the way with Mercer's Francisco still guarding heavily here. Falling down is Caraway. She falls on it, and a jump ball. Right at the end of the possession, Roadrunner ball. Roadrunner possession arrow. Budakovia moves over. Mercer's going to get tagged on a foul here. Shoot. Takes a shot, misses. It's Monroe. Mercer still driving quickly with 90 seconds left. Shot is up and a foul is called. Quamaya Wilkins will shoot 2 here. 1:30 to play. Misses her first shot. Wilkins makes the second. She is up to 15 points. Budakovia guarded by Edwards. Inside. On the foul line is Ivy. Gant stepping back. This is going to be a foul called against, looks like Alford that time. That will be her 5th foul, and she is out of the game. So she fouls out with 1:12 left, and they're going to bring in, it looks like, Monroe to come back in. The 6th girl for this Mercer team who scored 7 points so far. Only 2 Mercer players have scored off the bench. That being Monroe with 7, Smith with 2. But every player except one has checked into the game for Mercer in what is a relatively small bench compared to RCSJ. They don't have as much of a roster, and that's what benefits RCSJ in terms of how they can win in Division III games, is that if you have a full bench in NJCAA Division III, you might as well just be guaranteed to have a winning record. There were only 5 teams that had an over 500 record last year. And we mentioned that in last month's game that we covered versus Northampton. It was a talking point that really nobody was that competitive. There were so many teams at the top, and then there were a whole bunch of teams at the bottom, and there really wasn't anything in between. So Monroe makes both. 100-64. Oh, and look at that. Our score bug wasn't designed for 100 points. A minute left. Up and over. Here comes another chance. Can't get anything there. Bounce pass. Up and fouled with 50 seconds left. We'll get Francisco back to the line in our final possessions of the game. Yeah, 0 chance we're starting at 2 o'clock at this point. As we mentioned, our CSJ's next game is a home game that we will be covering on Tuesday, December 9th versus CC Philadelphia. And then on the road at Brookdale on Thursday, the 11th, and away at Atlantic Cape, another above 500 team on Thursday, Tuesday the 16th. For Mercer, we mentioned they play Lackawanna on the road on Tuesday. Then they have a 3-game homestand versus Monroe, Morris, and Union, as the shot is good by Caraway. Caraway now with 11 points. Sophomore guard being able to get something out of it. Edwards looks up to the semicircle. Moving in is Monroe, and a travel called as the shot clock will be erased. 24 seconds left as we'll go into the final possession of this one. 102-64. $17 seconds left. Roadrunners still passing the ball around. Mercer trying to steal it away from them. There's 12 seconds left. I don't know. Why are they running? They're going to get... I don't like that. I don't like that. You're up by 40 points. 5 seconds left, and they take a shot. Might as well take one for the Roadrunners there. I'm not a fan of that, how that ended. But Mercer will win this one in dominant fashion. Kudos to them. The final score, 104 for Mercer, 64 for RCSJ. And even though I might not be a huge fan, no hard feelings between the two coaches there, as Rich Cooper going over to the Mercer sideline to congratulate, as a dominant win sends the Roadrunners into the loss column for the first time this year. It was an interesting game. Mercer seemed to have everything set from the get-go. And RCSJ, they might have known what they were getting into in this game. They very well could have had a good idea of what was next. And by that we mean that Mercer is a nationally ranked Division II team. You can kind of expect where it was going to go. And even though the Roadrunners wanted to play a little bit of hero, 38 points in the first quarter was just something that Rich Cooper and company could not overcome. So Mercer improves to 8-2. RCSJ falls to 6-1, but they are still tied for first in the Region 19 standings, going into a very tough matchup versus Philadelphia on Tuesday. That'll be all for us. We will be right back in about 20-ish minutes for Game 2 of 3 today. It's the third-place game in the Roadrunner Classic for 2025 between the Eastern Eagles and the